This module, the Understanding TPACK, SAMR, and UDL, is a very full module. It also is very much a reflection of what I've said to you in the syllabus about the idea of this course by conference is for you to learn at your own pace. I'm going to show you where everything is inside of this module. I'll even take you through how to create the assignment, but eventually I'm not going to sit here and run all of these videos and all this information by you. That will be quite a lot of time, and that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to spend some time with this. Those of you who have had TPACK before, this should be a refresher. You'll be fine. The UDL is new to everyone. I've dropped the CAM, which was Cognitive Apprenticeship Modeling, not needed. And UDL, which is a much more important idea. I think we should be focused on these three. UDL, by the way, is Universal Design for Learning. So let me just show you the structure, and then I'll show you how to do the assignment. So if you click into the content folder for Understanding TPACK, SAMR, and UDL, it's very straightforward. There's three subfolders: TPACK, SAMR, and UDL. For the TPACK, you can go at this a couple of ways. You can watch this PowerPoint, which is the PowerPoint that I normally use. You can watch these 5 videos, which are the beginnings of TPACK as expressed by Mishra and Kohler. And you will have a really good grounding in TPACK. So that's TPACK. Oh, and this little video is basically showing a classroom that is employing TPACK. So you kind of get an idea of what it could look like. It's a nice classroom. SAMR is very simple. In the SAMR world, you basically have this idea about how technology is utilized. And so you have a SAMR model that talks about substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. And what you see here is technology is used for something else. That's the substitution. It actually helps to augment. Let's go back. Substitution, word processor for pen and paper. Augmentation is when you're using tools that help expand the original idea, so doing research. Modification is when you're using tools to do it in a different way. And redefinition is when you use the tools to do something that can't be done without technology. It's very simple, very straightforward. And I think this is probably the easiest one for us to understand. Substitution, technology acts as a direct tool, substitute with no fundamental change. Technology acts as a direct tool, substitute with functional improvements, it's augmentation. Modification, technology allows for significant task redesign. Redefinition, technology allows creation of new tasks previously inconceivable. Straightforward, easy to understand. All right, let's look at the third one. And this is Universal Design for Learning. This is very near and dear to my heart. The basic premise of UDL is that traditionally when we've looked at kids who have needs, and this doesn't necessarily mean they have been labeled ECE. This could just be a kid who has trouble reading, who's behind in reading. We've always looked at it as fixing the kids instead of looking at it through the lens of fixing the curriculum. And so what I've got here for you is a nice little video that explains it to you in a glance. This is a talk by Dr. David Rose, who is basically the head of Universal Design for Learning at the Centers for Applied Special Technologies, CAST. This presentation that he does is 45 minutes long, I think, and it's well worth the time to watch. This will be an eye-opener for some of you. This is very, very important stuff. And as I've said, I've given this to you in multiple ways. This is UDL explained from CAST. This is another PowerPoint. You can use that. And then here's a PDF. This is important stuff, so I've given you a lot of ways of getting into this. And then I gave you something fun to do. It's a learning styles test. One of the things that UDL looks at really seriously is looking at how do people learn? What is their style of learning? So those are the three different areas that we are looking at that impinge upon this idea of integrating technology into our teaching. Now, let's look at what the assignment says to do. The assignment basically is asking you to look at those three different ideas, and then we're going to use a tool called a blend space. And what we will do with the blend space is we will put together our understandings about what this means by looking at a sample lesson. So what I've done is I have a wiki created, and here's the link right here. And this link will take you to pretty much a replication of the whole TPACK presentation. So if you need to do it again. But where I really want you to look at is down here at the very bottom of the wiki space. What I've tried to do here is to replicate the TPACK game that the guys came up with. But what I've done is I've got it where we're looking at all kinds of examples of classrooms using technology. Now, what I want you to do in this lesson, and let's go back and look at it, is we're going to use something called a blend space, and I'll show you what that looks like. Here's the link that takes you there. And you're going to depict your understanding of TPACK, SAMR, and UDL to form a picture of their interconnections, differences, and their relationship to teaching using technology authentically. Embed your lesson video from the wiki, TPACK CEHD, which is here, into your blend space and use it as your focus explanation lens through which you see TPACK, SAMR, or UDL. Secondly, we're going to use something called Edmodo. Edmodo is an online site. We're going to be putting this blend space that we have created into an Edmodo post. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Well, let me show you how easy it can be. The work is you have to watch these videos and decide which one of these does the best job of helping you see TPACK, SAMR, and UDL. Now, I'm not going to go through what all that means because I want you to go through all that and what it means. I want you to take the time and think. So how do I get this video from here to the blend space? Well, we kind of know how to do that already. What we're going to do, though, instead of copying the embed code, actually you can do it both ways. Let's just go ahead and do the way we know best. We're going to copy the embed code. Boom. And now we're going to go to that other thing that Steve talked about, which was the blend space. Sorry, you had to click there to get in. So it's basically saying for you to register, to go ahead and register. This time, I'm not going to give you mine because you don't need it. This is a free site. So you go ahead and go through and get yourself registered in. Don't worry about that code. You're not going to need it because we're not really working as a class this time around. And that's why the code is there, because we were using this in a class setting. So as you can see, we have lots and lots of examples up here. Goodness gracious. Blend Space, I like Blend Space a lot because it's a very straightforward, easy to understand concept, or it can be a very deep and shows lots and lots of resources. Let's get going here so you can see it. So I'm going to create a lesson. And as you can see, it's already giving me a layout. I can change all that by coming up here to themes. And I can change the theme, which it didn't let me do because it says you had to put something in it. Fine, I will do that. As you can see, I can add rows. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So how are we going to get our video from our wiki into there? Well, watch. All I'm going to do is put the code into the YouTube and let it search. And there it is. So when I put my embed code into the YouTube search, it automatically understands what I'm asking for and it gives me the video. I'm going to grab that video and drag it over here and put it in my first one. So there's my video. Now I can go to the next box and I can start talking about how I see TPACK working within this lesson. Done. Let's go ahead and do it because it really bothered it that I didn't put something in there. So let me go ahead and let's edit some text because it doesn't. Oh, here's the guy. And then here's where the text would go. Here we are. We've put our embed code in over here on the side, where the different ways that you can search are YouTube being one, Google being another for images. Now here's the nice thing about this. When you search using Blend Space for images, it automatically looks for the ones that are Creative Commons licensing structure, so you don't have to worry about using things that might have copyright. Isn't that great? There's all kinds. There's Flickr, which is also another site to look for pictures. I have no idea what that one is. Good luck finding it. Here's where you can insert a web page. It's a full web page. You can put it in. All we're doing, though, is we're going to talk about how we see this working within the lens of TPACK, SAMR, and UDL. So I'm just going to start typing about this video that I had, and I can make it straightforward. TPACK is demonstrated, and I'll go ahead and click. And now I have it written in here. Simple as that. Text is a little small, so, just because I need to have things big, I'll go ahead and jump in here and make it a little bit bigger so it's easier for me to see and for the person who's reading it. Okay, what do you think I'm doing over here? The next box, I'm going to do the same thing. SAMR is demonstrated by, etc., etc., etc. Done. My fourth box down here will be all about UDL. UDL is seen in the way, etc., etc., etc. Done. So I have my resource, which is the video that I took from here. And I got it from here just by right-clicking and copying the embed code. That's all I had to do. I took that embed code into the blend space. I made sure that I had selected YouTube. I then pasted the code into there. When I do, the video shows up. I drag it over here into my first block. I use 2, 3, and 4 to explain how TPACK, SAMR, and UDL all go to work here. Now, I'm going to share this I can do it a couple of ways. I'm going to do it, as you can see here, I'm going to do it by taking, again, our old friend, the embed code. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to copy it. So where does this blend space that we just completed and that we now have the embed code, where does it go? Look at number 5. It says that we are going to use something called Edmodo, which is an online social group. We will be using this code, so when you sign up for an account, if you use this code, it'll throw you straight in to our class blend space. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on the link that takes me there. And because I already have an account with it, it's going to throw me into it. So I'm just going to keep on going. You would create an account, use that code so that you can join the group. And now I'm going to type my note here that basically says, this is my blend space about TPACK and SAMR and UDL. Hit an awful lot of capital letters there, didn't I? And I shouldn't have more than one and in there. So let's go ahead and clean that up. All right. So here is, oh, I actually hit the caps lock key. That's why I was all typing in caps. So here is my post, which is basically saying, hey, there's going to be a blend space here. Right below it is a little chain, a link. And when I click on that, I'm going to paste in that embed code, and I'm now going to attach it. And I'm going to send it. In other words, I'm giving it to my, I'm giving it to the post. And as you can see, it now appears as a post here. And there's my little blend space that I created. I can click on it and it will come up. Isn't that cool? Now, how do I get it from here? Because the assignment says that you're going to embed this post link. Post link, what is he talking about? You're going to embed the post link into your live text assignment. Well, let's go back. And if you look over here on the far right hand side of your post, there's a little chevron. You click on that chevron and it comes down to link to post. And there's your link. So click once to highlight it, right click to copy, Control C from your keyboard, however you do it. And now when you go into your live text assignment, hit your edit button, paste that in. It will take me right back to here, and I will see that you have posted into Edmodo. Now, by the way, this is a site that has me as the moderator. So if you are going to create a post in here and you have it posted, you need to send me an email so that I can make sure that it shows up. Or you can just send me a text. Either way. That's it. That's all there is to this, he says with a big smile, because he knows as well as you now know that what this one is all about is digging down through all these explanations. So let's go back and make sure we see under TPACK. I've given it to you in two ways, which I think are very easy to digest. So here's the TPACK PowerPoint. Take a quick look at that. This PowerPoint I made as my understanding of TPACK in my attempt to try to distill it down so that it would be something that we all could understand. It introduces you to some of the basic terminology and some of the basic premises of TPACK. TPACK is built upon an idea created by Lee Shulman, who was looking at how do good teachers work in effective classrooms. And one of the things he came up with was this idea of pedagogical movement, slide, dance, pick your term, that demonstrates that teachers do different pedagogies based upon the particular part of whatever there is they're teaching. And so when this finally does load up, what it does is it takes you through that sort of journey of understanding of what it means. Here it is. This is a framework that is standard among all TPACK. And what you're going to learn as you work your way through this, you have to follow the links if you don't want to. You can just go through the slides. That TPACK is a very much a wicked problem. And that's a true terminology in sociology, by the way. And it just takes you through helping you understand what all this means and where it came from and how we look at it. Don't forget this part of it. Technology is a wicked problem. Wicked problems require creative solutions. And these boys have come up with their acronym. It's called NEW. And you need to understand what that is about. So, there's your PowerPoint. If you want to hear it from the horse's mouth, that is all right here. It's not too long. So that's TPACK. Get that into your head. The second one was SAMR, which is super cinchy. SAMR is just essentially a listing of how technology is utilized within the teaching, the learning that's going on in a class. And as I've said, you won't have any trouble with this. There's lots of really good videos here and really good good pictographs that'll explain it all to you. The last one, though, which is understanding universal design for learning, is probably one of the most important things you can take away, because this one reaches clear across all curricular areas. It reaches into the heart of what we're trying to do with differentiated instruction. This is a biggie. And as I said, you can watch this as UDL would say, as your gateway in. And then this 45-minute lecture by Dr. Rose is probably the most important thing out of all of this that you can look at. You're then going to go find your video that you think works, put it into Blend Space, create it in Blend Space, write about it from those 3 different viewpoints, put it over into our Edmodo link. So here's our Blend Space that we made. We're going to share it. We're going to share it using our gold friend, the embed code again. Copy it. We're going to take that out to our Edmodo, log in, put in the group code. Your post will be right here. Don't let this throw you. It doesn't look like there's anything there. There is. click into it, and you'll see that you now can write here. Just give me a real simple, hi, this is my blend space about TPACK, SAMR, and UDL. Use this link. Use this link to put in your code. Attach it. Don't let the X throw you. And then send it. Oh, I didn't put anything in my note. Got to put something in the note or it doesn't recognize it. And send it. There you go. So, it's that simple to do. It really is. All right. So we now have understandings for the first module, and now we have an understanding for the module about TPACK, SAMR, and UDL. As always, I'm just a text away.